In this video, I'm going to do a tour of the Brats and Bavaria German car show here at Trove Club in Richmond, BC. There are some great cars on display here today, so let's have a closer look. The first car that piqued my interest is this 2007 Maybach 57S. These are fascinating cars that rebooted the Maybach name in the early 2000s. It was Daimler AG's response to BMW's purchase of Rolls-Royce and the release of the Phantom. The 57 was the smaller offering at 5.7 meters long, while you could also get the even longer 62. This 57S model brought power up to 604 horsepower and 738 pound-feet out of its M285 V12 engine, so essentially quite similar to the S65 AMG of this era. And since it's assembled by AMG, you'll see the builder signature on the engine cover, even though you don't get the AMG carbon fiber cover. Under the hood, you'll also notice there are dual SBC modules, one on each side. As well as the dual brake calipers. These cars utilize Airmatic air suspension to deliver unparalleled ride comfort. This car is finished in Antigua white, and inside we have aspen white leather with carbon fiber and piano black lacquer wood trim. Options specified on this car included the ventilated front and back seats, curtains in the rear doors, tray tables, and a solar module. Just an endless selection of stuff to play with. It really would be hard to get bored riding in the back of one of these. Check out the Maybach branded champagne flutes that are held in place to avoid any spills. The fridge in the center console is of a generous size, and the tray tables are very nice. The curtains open and close at the press of a button, and the seats can be adjusted and reclined to your liking. It's definitely one of the nicer places you can be, and these carried nearly a $400,000 MSRP equipped like this. And the bigger 62s ran over 400,000. Only 503 units of the 57S were ever made in this pre-facelift version, so it's an extremely rare car. It weighs over 6,000 pounds or 2,700 kilograms, so it's heavier than a new GLS 63, which is a massive SUV. Opening this gas door vertically, you can fill your 110-liter fuel tank. Definitely a nice car, but a lot of the bespoke parts for this Maybach are a lot more expensive compared to a more pedestrian car like an S600. And this car is owned by Nathan Wong, who you should follow on Instagram because he mainly collects AMGs with unique or high option specifications. Another Benz that stood out was this SLS AMG. This is a 2011 model finished in Le Mans red over black leather. The optional Bang & Olufsen stereo is equipped, as well as the optional Alcantara sport steering wheel. Of course, the gullwing doors are iconic, and the hood is extremely long. Underneath it is the M159 V8, rated at 563 horsepower, and as you can see, it's located behind the front axle. It's really a front mid-engine car. This car is also the same spec that was used in the commercial for the SLS AMG with Michael Schumacher, which was actually filmed right here in British Columbia, Canada. So the local connection of the SLS is pretty cool. And next to the SLS is another car that had a brief appearance in a Schumacher commercial. This is my 2011 E63 that I picked up last month. It pairs very well with the SLS here. I really love this era of AMG. The engines were big and the exhaust sound peaked during these years. Not to mention AMG getting much more involved in the design and tuning of these cars compared to previous years. The E63 only has 518 horsepower, so 45 less than the SLS. But these twin 5-spoke wheels have a quite similar look on both cars. I'll do an update video on the E63 soon, but I'm loving it so far. Next to it is a 1957 Ponton in beautiful condition. This is a 180 type, so a W120 chassis code with a 4-cylinder engine. And with a W212 next to it, I can show that on the W212 the rear wheel arches are meant to be inspired by the fender flares of the classic Ponton model, and I can definitely see it. Moving along, we have a W124 500E that's been featured a few times on this channel. Still one of my favorite Mercedes of all time, and I love the spec of this car. Given all the Porsche connection as part of its unique story, it's no wonder why these are so hot with Mercedes collectors right now. Next we have a facelift W204 C63. This one has the P31 performance package, so 481 horsepower, and of course very low. Here is a W463 G550. This has the M273 V8, 382 horsepower, and this example is very nicely modified here. This is a very clean W211 E63, finished in columbite black, which has a subtle red metallic in the paint. Black interior on this one, and very well equipped. This is a 2005 CLK 55 in alabaster white, and unique to see these with the quad exhaust outlets, which were only a 1-year thing on the CLK 55. Nice pillarless design on the 209. On the end here we have a 190E 2.316 sitting on some C208 wheels. One of the few sporty Mercedes with a manual transmission. Very cool. Outside the show I spotted this W210 E55 wagon. This is a 2000 model from Japan. A total of 1,723 of these E55 wagons were made. The 18-inch monoblock wheels are a signature of this era of AMG. The roofline is really boxy compared to the newer wagons. Nonetheless, this is a pretty clean example. I know I'm very Mercedes AMG focused, but I really love almost all German cars, so let's go through some more of the stuff that was here. Of course, BMW M3 E46s are very popular here. Probably one of the best looking BMWs in my opinion, not to mention they're fun to drive, with that high revving S54 engine paired with a 6-speed manual gearbox. This one is Mystic Blue with a custom cinnamon interior. There were plenty of these here in various color combos. Next here we have Porsche GT3s in both the 997 and 991 generations. E60 M5 here in Interlagos Blue, a legendary car with a V10 engine. Lots of people hate on this car for its reliability and the SMG gearbox, but it's really hard to beat a V10 exhaust note, and it's still a very fast car with over 500 horsepower. And in my opinion, the reliability issues are maybe slightly overblown. Audi RS4 Avant, a rare wagon here with a high revving V8 and manual gearbox. Lots of BMWs of all generations here. This E92 M3 is particularly nice. This is a later facelift model finished in Jerez black paint and very nicely spec'd BBS E88s. Tons of great BMWs here, such as the legendary E39 M5 and this Alpina B10. A few more interesting Porsches, such as the slant nose, and check out this stunning 993 Carrera 4S, tastefully modified. That's it for this tour. I still think my favorite today is the 500e. Let me know in the comments which was your favorite. Thanks for watching, and if you want to support the channel, take a look at my store. Link is in the description. If you want to see more Mercedes content, subscribe for more videos like this one.